How's it going, allotment freaks? Well, first off, for this week, we ain't starting in the shed. It's 8:30, it's Sunday night. One of the realities for me of having an allotment is finding time to get down. I work full time, the missus works full time, we've got children. My hours are generally Monday to Friday, the wife's is generally Thursday through to Sunday sort of thing, so yeah, it's a few early starts and a few late finishes just to fit it in. So like I said, I've been rushing around to get bits in tonight. So I've not filmed it, but I'll take you around and show you what we've been up to. So hold on tight for another rip-roaring episode of Jay at plot number 12. Tonight is I've had to make space in the greenhouse to get all the peppers potted up into the big pots where they're gonna hopefully stay and produce a decent amount of fruit for us. So we've got 5 mini bell yellows, 5 Robertinas, 2 sweet peppers that Rich gave us next door, and 1 hot chilli that was a hot chilli mix thing and only one of them took. And to be honest, it's the worst. You see that one there? It's tiny, compare it to everything else, it's the worst out of everything. So yeah, now all we did for these was multi-purpose compost, mix it up in a bucket with a handful of calcified seaweed and 2 big handfuls of chicken manure pellet, mix it up, bang it all in the pots and chuck the peppers in them. So like I say, we've got plenty there to be going at. I've still got down here, these are all my extra ones down here. A few Robertinas, a few mini bell yellows. So what I'll do, I'll keep hold of them for a week, just make sure all these are alright, and then probably start giving them away. Might take a few home, have a few at home on windowsill or something in the kitchen, I don't know yet. Down this side, it's all the tomatoes still. Doing great from when they went in. Pretty much all of them have got flowers on them now. I think the sunlight the last couple of days has helped. It's been minging and horrible, hasn't it? Really cloudy and rainy and wet for the whole of May. And the end of May's come, and for once the bank holiday weather's brought a decent... the bank holiday weekend has brought a decent weather with it. We've had a couple of days of sun now, and things are really starting to take off. I've got more tomatoes in pots. These ones on the front here, this big mass of them, they're all in pots. I've just had to move them off the bench to make room there. There's a couple more to go in here. We're going to put a few outside, and then my brother's having the best part of whatever's left. What else have we got going on here? We've got all the cucumbers, squash, etc, etc. I've not got time to do it with them now, so they'll get sorted the next time we're here. Down at the front, I've seen a lot of people moaning on Facebook about these. These were one of the, the Thompson and Morgan offers. I'm not sure it was Thompson and Morgan. It was either Thompson and Morgan or Sutton, same company anyway, isn't it? Where it was 72 perennials, flowers, for, at the time I ordered it, back in November, it was 16 quid. Including postage, so it wasn't bad. They turned up, I don't know what I was expecting, to be fair, I've never ordered them before. They turned up absolutely tiny. Don't know if you've ever ordered them, but the little cells they turn up in are the size of your fingernail, the little cells. Most of mine were alive when they turned up, to be fair, that wasn't bad. I've seen a lot of people on the Facebook groups really whinging about them, saying they've not been great when they've turned up, but I just put them into the bigger module trays, and I put them into a heated propagator just to try and pick them up that little bit. I think when I got the email saying they'd been dispatched on the Wednesday, and then they didn't turn up till it was either the Monday or the Tuesday, so it was almost 5 days there that they were in a box in the dark for. Obviously damp, they give them a good soaking before they come. I don't know if that's been detrimental to some people's, but No, so they've been in the heated propagator a week. They've picked right up, so I've brought them down here, get a bit of sun on them. I'll take you on a little look round outside. See behind me all the lettuces, these are really kicking up. I've got more in the greenhouse actually. I need to go through, I've got that tray there. I need to go through, pick the better ones out, finish filling that bed up. This is the, the cut and come again stuff, just a mix of salad leaves. I'm going to take a picking off that before we go home. That'll be the first picking from the allotment actually, so belting. What else we got here? Sunflowers, they can go out, but like I said, not really got time to do them now. I'm going to lose the light in a little bit. Onions, I've just picked off all the scapes. They're all trying to go to seed, aren't they? So I've picked off the scapes. I pulled one the other day actually. I've got it here hanging up in the shed. Just dry it out a little bit. And that's the sort of size of them. So just sit there. And that was the sort of size of it. So what's that? A little bit bigger than a golf ball. So I think I'm just going to leave them in. I'll leave them in, let them run the course, and they just won't store very well from what I've read up on them. So whether we just blitz them up and freeze them as blitzed up onions or not, that's something to do with them, isn't it? Courgette plants, they've took well. I've got one spare in the greenhouse actually, probably give that one away. All the comfrey plants in here behind me. The slugs have had an absolute battering of them, so I put them outside last week. Slugs have had a bit of a battering at them, but there's not a lot we can do about that. Well, there is, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. The beans look absolutely terrible. I'm hoping this sun picks them up and gives them a good kicking. I've got a few of the dwarf ones spare, 4 of them in the greenhouse spare. So I can rescue a few of them, but the climbers, that's all I've got of the climbers. I put a lot of them in, so that might be a failure, but we'll live and learn. The peas, both types of peas, the climber, the aldermans on the frame. You see them down this line, they've really come into life this last week or so. And the Monge 2, the Karubi D, something or other in French, last day they've really picked up, so that's good. We got over here behind me, where is it? There, I got the sweet corn in. Now I've absolutely crammed it in there. There's 36, you see them there? There's 36 in the 2 pallet collars. Now, I know the spacings, they advise, well, a lot more room as long as it's in a grid, but my theory, thinking about it, is, well, if it was in a farmer's field, they're a hell of a lot closer. Like when you see, like, when there's, well, there was, I think it's still down the road somewhere, there was one of them amazing mazes. Well, they're crammed right up to each other and they grow to over sort of head height, don't they? You'll get 7 or 8 foot out of them. So I've just crammed them in. Should help with the pollination of them. We'll see if it affects the fruiting of them, but yeah, that's great for them. The brassica house, I've just had to throw, yeah, let me turn you around. So yeah, so it's all happening in the brassica house at the minute. The kale, the slugs have found it and started having a go. I've had to put these trays in the middle. These were extras and odd bits that I had in the greenhouse that have obviously had to come out to make way for peppers, but we'll get them in over the next week. That won't be a problem. And so I forgot, I've got kale down the edge here, more kale there. Up to them next ones are they, watch my feet. What have we got here? These are Stromboli Calabrese. Couple of them. These have just gone in just now, these 2, they're red acre cabbage. Them next 3 green ones, they're Cordessa cabbage. This bed, the 8 down the middle, you see them there. The 8 down the middle is kohlrabi, and then there's some more Stromboli Calabrese down the outside of that bed. I've just put some more cauliflowers in down the side there. Some more Stromboli Calabrese, they've just gone in there. I was going to put the lot in, but let's say I'm losing the light and it's getting dark, so the peppers took priority. The pak choi has gone to seed, it's shocking. but from reading up on the pak choi, it's more of a autumn veg. So I've got some young ones in one of them trays there. So we'll get them in and hopefully they'll be all right, and we'll be picking them come autumn. Over here, these are the red acre cabbage again, them big uns. Hey. The potatoes are looking great. These first two are the earlies, Charlottes. Then we've got 2 rows of Maris Pipers. Then we've got 2 rows of King Edwards, and then 1 last row of Maris Pipers because we'd had well too many, so we crammed them in. They've been, yeah, so all the potatoes, they've been earthed up 3 times now. I think I'll leave them now and just let them go, and we'll see that. Oh, let me show you the pond. The pond over here, since all the flowers, I had a bit of a weed around it the other day. Like I say, the mare's tail on here is everywhere, but it's learning to live with it, not fighting against it, and we'll keep holding it back, we'll keep pulling it. And from what not a lot of people, what some people have mentioned about it on Facebook groups and that, is they keep at it, and after a couple of years it's not as prevalent as it has been in the past. So yeah, we might have it for a few years. Well, we're going to have it forever, but hopefully we can calm it down a little bit. But pond area is really coming into life now. We have got tadpoles in there. I seen them, when did I see them? On Friday night I seen a couple of them. So they are still there. They're quite shy, so when you shadow over it, they dart off really quick. I think the daffodils are having the final flush through, but the lilies, something, I'll see if I can see one. See how this lily is getting attacked by something? I seen it on there the other day. It's like, I can't see any on there at the minute. It's like a little beetle with a red shell. And I'm assuming that it's that's doing all the damage to them, but there's quite a few. There's a few that haven't come up yet, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Whatever this pond plant was, that's doing quite well. That started flowering. That one on the other side's doing quite well, and the lily has just disappeared. It's fell off the face of the earth. There's one now. I don't know if you're going to see it. Where is it? See him there, tadpole. So yeah, so the tadpoles are still there. I've been putting goldfish flakes in. There he is, swimming across there now. I don't know if the camera will pick him up. But no, so they're still going well. Let's say this area, this was just a piled up, where I dug turf out and upturned it. And to be quite honest, I'm not too fussed about it being a bit wild like that. Come out. Yeah, so this area at the back of the pond here, this big massive, it's mainly couch grass, a few nettles and that. That was like where I upturned the turf and just piled it up. But to be quite honest, I'm not too fussed about it. It's a decent environment for the wildlife to come in and out of and hide away. So I'll leave that there for this year. We'll trim it back towards the end of summer. If anything starts going to seed, we'll pull the seed heads out. But no, I'm quite made up with my little pond area. Like I say, all them perennials that we got, they're all going to plant up around this area sort of thing. We just need to have a good tidy up of it. And that's where they're going to go. So yeah, so like I said, I've time. It's just having time to get down and do stuff. Like I say, I want to spend time with my kids. I want to actually see the missus every now and again. So yeah, this place sometimes takes a little bit of a back foot. But then when you come, you just crack on, don't you? So partly the reason we went with the raised beds. A bit less maintenance. It's not as much ground that I've got to go through weeding every time I come. Oh yeah, what I said about these before, well I've not said them yet, what I said about the slugs on the comfrey and a few other bits in the brassica house, the slugs have been on at that. I was chatting to Rich next door And he said, and I thought, I'd not seen many, to be fair, but and he said the old fella that had it before me, he was really rampant with his use of nematodes, so I went and I ordered a little pack of them, the Nemoslug ones, and that was the first job I did this evening when I got down here. You know, mix them up in a watering can, or mix them up in a bucket. Said the packet, mix it up with 4 litres of water, make a strong solution, and then dilute that, half a litre of that to every watering can sort of thing. And then apply it. It says you'll have enough for 8 watering cans. I got 6 out of it, so give everywhere a good going over with that, and then water it over with a hose. So hopefully we'll give that. So it's not going to happen instantly, is it? So, but that should start to keep some of the slugs at bay. Like I said, I don't want to be using chemicals. Mark on there. I don't want to be putting slug pellets down and all the rest of it. And you know, if you want to use them, so be it. Like, I'm not going to hold anything against anyone that uses them, but for me, I've got no problem. I'll try and find a different way. Let's say we'll go down the natural route. Part of the reason of having the pond, if we can encourage the frogs and whatnot, and hopefully they'll start picking a few off. But yeah, no. But yeah, so that's most of it really. Everything's coming into life, everything's taking shape. I need to have a go through this border here. Yeah, so along this border here, you see where it's died back there. Rich did pull us aside and he said, look Jay, he said, I have sprayed. He said, I waited for a still day and it's just that bit along the fence. You know, Rich does really well with his plot, to be fair. It's one of the better plots on here. He keeps it tidy, keeps it straight. Along the bottom of the fence where you can't get in with a mower and the strimmer, he just eat through rolls of wire. He's just sprayed the bottom for the edge. But as you can see, wherever I've got something, bar that tree, but yeah, it's a tree, isn't it? It shouldn't matter too much. But everywhere there is something, he's not sprayed. So yeah, I've got no issues with him doing that. Should be all right, hopefully. But no, like you say, it's really messy here. This is where all the mystery bulbs, this one patch, so from in between that post and that post was where the bulk of the mystery bulbs were that we left. Well, they're still up, just about. I'm going to dig them up and move them over to around the border in front of the pond and whatnot. But yeah, no, the fruit bushes are looking great. The rhubarb, I'm not going to pick it this year. This one was here originally last year when I got the plot, and it wasn't too great. Every time any stalk got to any kind of great size in it, anytime any stalk got to any great size on it, it just sort of fell off and died. So I'm going to leave it this year, not pick it, let it get some energy back into the crown. And then the other one, how many more have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. The other 4, we only put them in over winter. One of my mates, he's got a plot further. Well, there's our site here, and there's another site a minute walk away. There was loads. He said, I've got hundreds of rhubarb. He split them all. And so they've all come through. So we're going to give them a year to sort of get some energy back into the crowns, let the crowns develop, and then we'll pick them next year. But yeah, I think that is everything. Oh, this is one thing as well. When I put the dwarf French beans in, I put this little table out. I just put a little table with a note on there and just put, help yourself, it's all going spare. And there must have been 20 of them, you know, in the module tray. I was like, I've never grew them before, we'll put them all in and hey, they all come up. So there must have been 20 of them, so I put them on there. Just put help yourself. And anyway, the next day I come down, they'd gone. So I thought, sound. And I was quite nosy, I thought, I'll go have a look, see who's had them. And one one plot had took a lot of them. I'm not holding it against anyone, like, but does anyone really need 20 dwarf French bean plants? But apparently there used to be a similar thing going on where people had put stuff out and it was the same guy that just took everything all the time. And I don't get it, because he has a really tidy plot, but yeah, if it's there, I don't know if he just doesn't want anyone else to have it, but he takes a lot of it. But he's offered me stuff. I've got no issues with it. It's just a fucking odd thing for one bloke to take a lot of them. But I must really like beans. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to take a cutting. I'm going to cut the tops off these salad leaves. I'll take a picking out of them, take that home. I've got some sweet peas, they're going home, the missus wants them at home. So we'll take them home, get them potted up and planted up in some nice pots at home. And that's everything. So if you've got this far, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and all the rest of it. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later. Bye.